Hey guys, how you doing? Okay. Alright, it's a little bit lag. There we go. Okay. I wanted to go over a game I just recently played. And so let's do that. Oops, I have to exit that. There we go. Okay. Come on. I'm white. At this point I'm up. This is the England Gambit. I'm up a whole piece, so I take, hey, takes, knight plays there, double attack, plays here, I take there, and now I'm up 3 pawns, or actually 2 pawns. Knight takes, queen there, I play queen here, he moves back, I castle, which pushing the rook up probably would have been better. Now I know that. So there. Queen attacks the bishop. I kind of played a subtle move. Okay, so this is actually best in this line. Okay. Because he has to play that. Oh, because of the fork. Like, because if he plays here, knight takes and you win. And then it forks these 2 rooks. Wow. That's a power move. Takes. And retreat back. My plan. Should have taken here. I kind of missed that. And then you drop in here and you're threatening you're kind of threatening an attack, so then the queen has to come there. It's kind of a smother mate. Because if I take here, he takes. Sorry, I have to get back to this part. Here, here, here. If he moves there, you grab that. And then if he comes back and grabs, oh, he can't grab there. If he grabs here, you grab there, and you're up a whole piece, a whole rook. So I played there. I took here, which is okay, but I should have actually taken there. This wins on the spot. And then what you do is you take here, and if he takes there, you take. He can't take back here because, of course, you see mate 2. So that's one line. He played there. I took. He took. I played there, and he took. And I took, and he resigned. So that's one. And then now we're gonna go over the French exchange variation. The French exchange variation, and this is between Simon Williams and Paul Hopper. Sorry, Hopper. Paul Hopper. And then he takes, and knight f3, bishop g4, bishop h4, h3, sorry, not h4. h4 would be right here. It's h3, queen check, queen e7, bishop to e3, knight c6, g4, bishop g6, and this kind of Simon was able to provoke a weakness. Potentially you can actually play bishop to e4, and that would pin the bishop e4, and then it pins the knight to the rook, so the bishop would have to come there, and this is a wrecked structure, so you could play against the pawn structure. Castle queenside, c3, f6 to stop the pawn push there, and potentially to play here. And you also have the ability later on of playing your bishop back to f7 if he plays here, so that you don't lose your light square bishop. Queen d7, and now we potentially have a knight coming to e7, and after bishop goes to f7, you can swing the knight around, or potentially get a rook involved, which is also a nice thing, because if you notice, the queen is on the same file as the king, so this would cause some problems. So he castles kingside, and h5 is played. That's actually a really nice move in my opinion. I like that move because it really takes advantage of the weakness of this structure, the h3 and g4 pawns, by attacking it right away, because you have a queen, you have a queen and a pawn, and then a rook, and this knight could then come in potentially there. So you have a lot of attack. And remember what we talked about? Why f6 was played? So that the bishop can go to f7. Bishop f3 to hold the pawn. g5. Takes. f5. Oh, you gotta love the attack. I don't know. I might be thinking of being tempted to play, but you can't really play that because of there. Yeah, because if you played here, that would be played. I think you're still fine in this line, even after takes. Yeah, so you can't take there. I still think you're okay. So I want to see if the computer agrees with me on what does it think of that. I still think we're okay. We're up a whole piece, so I think we can take advantage of that. Whole piece, minor piece for one pawn. I think it's worth the compensation. e8. Queen moves there. And then knight takes, pawn takes. Plays knight. This is a young Simon, so this is actually crushing right here. There's no way to stop, because now you're forking. And you win another piece. It's like, wow, total devastation. Rook takes is also winning too because of queen there. But let's say that pawn takes. Then we have a potential. Okay, you have knight takes first, bishop takes, and then pawn takes, and so mate in one. Mate in one. h6. It's kind of puzzling that his opponent resigned here. That was a little puzzling. So we're gonna go to Tatev, and this is actually the Women's Olympics. So 2010. So that's an interesting thing here, and her opponent is Ingrid. I don't know how to pronounce all that, so sorry about that. I'll just say white and black. So white played e6, e4, e6, d4, d5, knight f3, bishop b4, and e5. It's kind of a weird winner, because the winner usually would be I guess that is the I apologize, that is the winner. And then you actually can play here, and he takes, and then c5. It's kind of an awkward setup of the winner. It's a little bit different for sure, but it still works. Castles. There's many different lines. Castling is more of a positional play. A knight comes in, then you jam a knight there, f3, queen, c7. Because what you're planning on doing is taking here, taking here, taking here, and then that becomes weak. And at the right moment, you can actually play f6 as well, and this pawn ends up becoming a problem because of 3 pieces. Do you see? And if you can eliminate this base pawn, you have 3 pieces attacking, and there's only 2 defending. That's why bishop, that's why bishop e3 was played. Knight c7, and I believe that probably is maybe best to get rid of that bishop. Let me see. Oh wow, you gotta remember that. If your opponent takes here, remember to take there, and then after takes here, you take there. Okay, I gotcha. I feel ya. I feel ya. Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to see about that. It kind of was a little interesting. I wanted to see why that did that, because sometimes I even learn a little bit. Pontes, Pontes. So he can't take here because of there, so he has to castle, and then the break opens the board up. So he takes oops, my bad there. So he takes bishop there, takes. A lot of pressure. The knight's under fire now. now the queen's blocked out. Bishop comes in, so Tatev actually fortified everything. Boy, she was really blessed here because there was a lot of attack coming down the road, as they would say. And so now everything's starting to flow in, and everything's starting to come into an attack for our opponent, us. Takes. I want to see which one's actually best. I think taking here. This isn't the best. It's not as bad, but this is better because what happens is then the queen takes and takes here. And you've won a pawn there, so, and if he tries there, you just check there and you've won. So that's kind of, but I can understand her logic of taking here, taking there. Yeah, I don't know if I like that, so. And her opponent resigned because now there's no counterplay along here for that pawn. She's got outside passers, and so okay, we've got to remember to remember that, guys. So now we're gonna do our analysis board. We're gonna go into, and we're gonna remember I promised you we would. We're gonna go into a whole new setup. It's the Mac Kutanen and Burn variations. Right, I don't know how to pronounce his name. So this is the move sequence: e4, e6, d4, d5, knight c3. Knight c3, knight f3, and bishop g5. This is if you played bishop b4. If you played there. It's equal, so d2, bishop takes, b takes c. Oops, gotta turn that off. 94. Queen g4, g6, bishop d3, Knight takes, king takes, c5, knight f3, knight c6, and you're kind of eyeing this, and you're keeping the queen here so that potentially you could check and get rid of a lot of attack. So f4, a5, this is kind of the line that Lennerman went down with Fabi, but a little different. In the U.S. Championship. So D takes C, queen takes C, and the continuation of the game goes, let's see, H, knight d4, knight takes d4, queen takes d4, queen takes d4, c takes d4, d7, a4, bishop c6, a4, oh, not h4, I apologize guys, I did h4, it's a4. Then bishop here, excuse me, a5 with distinctly better endgame for white. There should be a game that comes up. Nope, no game. So this is just this is kind of a the player, if you want to continue the game, the name of white is TISCHBIEREK, and his opponent is Stock, STOCK, and they played at a place, I don't know how to pronounce the name, so I'll just spell it to you. This is the place they played, MUNICH, and it was 1992, if you wanted to kind of look up the game. So that was that line. So let's check out what would happen. So we could cross this line off here. We already went over that one. There's a line instead of E4, or yeah, E5. There is E takes D5, and there's queen takes D5, which is an exclam mark, because this can't actually be taken. Bishop takes F, takes check, B takes, G takes, and D2, and queen D2, A5, bishop D3, which you're eyeing that pawn there, D7, bishop D7, kind of trying to trade off, E2, knight E2, bishop C6, which takes scope on that pawn there, and here, and potentially there, and then castle queenside. F3, knight F7. He castle kingsided here, and his opponent castle, and we castle queenside. Hey Fox, how you doing? This is an equal position. That's what it says. So I believe there. I hope there's a game that we can look at. Yeah, here we go. This is the game. No. No, there's no game that. Let me see this. Hold on. No, there's no. Doesn't go along with the game. Wait a second. Hold on. My bad. Yeah, there it is. This is the game. I was on the wrong spot. It ended in a draw. So. There's really nothing you could do besides a draw on that line. So that was an interesting game, to say the least. We'll look at this one because it's a game also that it's a little different. Black wins in this one, so I want to see how he takes advantage of that. Nice tactic there with using the pin. Nice, that's triple pawns there. You got 3 pawns. Check. Wow, the knight's coming right in. You gotta love it when that happens. It's like an ultimate warrior. Ah, you love these. You gotta love these games when that happens. Takes. Oh, that's so nice. You're gonna have to play here, and when you do that, you win. You win the night. Oh, that's so sweet. That is sweet. You have to love it. Okay, we went over that line. Wait a sec, there's a subline on move 5. I instead of takes. Well, we have line B that we have to go over, and then we'll do some tactics, because then we've went through 3 lines with games that go along with each one. We don't want to we got to slowly learn and build up our repertoire of the French defense, the Mac cut. I'll spell his name. Capital M-A-C, capital C-U-T-C-H-E-O-N, and burn variation. Okay. Alright, just one sec. We'll finish this lineup and then we'll go over that. Okay, knight. 1 second. Why does it say, is it G? That's weird. It should have GE 7. That's okay. I think it kind of did a hiccup there. Pawn takes. A3. Bishop takes. Instead of knight takes, because he wants to save it to come over here. G takes. And then 1 second. What am I? Holy ravioli! What did I miss here? Did I miss something? Oh, yeah, I got that messed up. Gotta get rid of that. That's wrong. A3. Bishop E7. Bishop takes. Oops. Let's see. Bishop takes F. Oh, sorry, I messed that up again. I have to follow this correctly here. Okay, so takes. So G takes. Knight takes E4. There we go. Now we got it. Now we got it rolling. And this knight here. Goes to C3. He goes right back, and then B6 is played, and now you have 2 active really active bishops. This is a good bishop, and that's a good bishop, and this will eventually soon be opened up. So we'll stop here, and we'll put an X on the B line that we went over. We went over all of them, and so that's good. Actually, we could go one sec, Fox. I want to see if there's a game that because there's a game that goes to this. I just want to see the game real quick, because yeah, I want to see all the way through. Just one sec. Black wins in this one, and we'll just take a quick look. Let's see how many moves it is. Not bad. And then we'll go to Kramnik's game, because I want to see how this actually flies. So castle queenside is very prevalent in that line. I've noticed that. Okay, there, knight moves in, bishop comes back, king moves over, so it's safe. There's no dark squared bishop, so h6, pawn takes. And he sacrificed a piece for, I think, how many pawns? 2, 5, so 3 pawns, or is it 2 pawns? Let's see, 5, so 5 would be there. Yeah, 2 pawns for a piece. Yeah, it was. There, and just coming straight back to trade off the queens, and if they could do that, remember liquidation on the chessboard. Boy, this is so sweet how they're maneuvering everything. And the pieces are coming into play, and if this takes here, you then have a takes there, and that's why he resigned. Okay, we will look at that game now. Just I have to now. Okay, I'll put my pad of paper back in its spot. We'll go over another couple lines tomorrow, and we're going to learn more of the variations. Okay, the 2 knights variation, modern bishops opening. C 555. So it's the Indian game. Okay, not India, Italian game. Sorry. There is an Indian game, and so that is a. That's why I gotta say it right. Oops, I gotta do that right. Let's make sure I. Okay, let's pull this up here. Let's pull another board up. Paste it in. Implement it. Exit that out. I'll move my. Okay, let's check Vladimir Kramnik's move. So he's white. How many moves is it? Oh, not bad actually. 59. E4, E5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop, c4. This is the Italian game, and there's 2 knights because black has the 2 knights, and you could tell in the Italian game when the bishop's like on, when it comes to c4, that's like that's the Italian game. You could always kind of get a sense for that. Okay, so b3, d6, oh yeah, I like it. When Kramnik gets an advantage, he grinds you like a washing machine for sure. And then he this is a joke. Then he puts you in the dryer in the end game, and it's all over but the crying. C3, so that if his opponent goes A, you can just retreat back. Bishop E3, so I think that's so that if he goes here, I think you're right about that. I think it's so that he can go there. And then if he tries like bishop there, you have b4. And then if knight there, you always have the potential b5. If knight goes back, then you have like c4. And you have a pretty good extensive pawn chain on the queen side. So I think that's kind of why he played b3, was so that that would happen. They're playing lines of thought. When you trade down like Kramnik did, you have to always remember that you're you're in an imbalance at that point. You have to make sure that it's worth the trade. So because Kramnik has the two knights, he's going to want to lock the position down, or maybe even trade a bishop off for a knight, and then when that takes back, so if bishop takes, pawn takes, then he'll play c4 and go more positionally so that his knight can actually come to c3 and then dominate these bishops. So d6, bishop takes, takes. Oh, he plays knight there. I guess he has to now because there's no infiltration point. Man, look at the wrecked structure of his opponent. a3, a6, queen c2, rook e8, a d1, rook a d1, knight, rook e3, or e6, rook fe1, and this develops everything for Kramnik. Now it's more of a positional game, and that's where Kramnik thrives. He can also potentially go c4 if bishop takes, pawn takes, and then this bishop's unleashed on the queen like a mighty cannonball that it fires, boom, and the queen's gone. g6, knight goes to f1. And now all the pieces are starting to flow. And potentially maybe a rook first, then the queen. There's a lot of attack. That's kind of funny. And now, yeah, you can put a bind. Yeah, that's true. But see, Kramnik acquired these. This is a horrible structure for white. I mean, for black. So in the end game, this is better for white. If all these pieces get traded off, the king can actually come in. This king could walk all the way over here without any problems and start gobbling stuff up. Knight h2, g6, queen's coming in, yes. h5, and so now he's starting to bring the army in. His opponent, I don't know why he traded. That was kind of crazy, but his opponent's trying to flee his king over. Boom. Now the pawn's protected. Everything's protected. Okay, comes up. Yeah. Yeah, if he plays up here and then he plays there, you can actually play up in... Well, I guess you can't because this is guarded, so... Yeah, you'd have to be careful. And now there's no way to stop. He can... You know what? You can have it. You can have it. Check. And you win. That's a very interesting game. I think... Let me see. You were talking about... you think the a6 was almost forced, otherwise white would play knight and hit the bishop on a5. Okay. Let's go to bishop to a6. I think h6. I think that's what you're talking about. Now where's bishop h6? Bishop h6. Where am I missing? But move is bishop h6 on. Oh, bishop a4. Okay, bishop a4. Let's see. I'll move 15. Okay. Yeah, it is. And that's move 12. It was move 12. And that's so that kind of gets it outside the pawn chain. It's really not a weakness, and potentially after rook e8, there's a potential lockdown here, which is an idea. But I think it just closes it up too much. But I like that idea here. Yeah, move 12. I like how this is all closed up, but I don't know, maybe rook here, then that's fully closed, so I think it's still okay. Okay. And if you want to put in a line, I'll go over it. So h6. So h6. That goes to c4. Oh, I'm sorry, not a6. My bad. Sorry about that. Yeah. Sorry, h6. There, and alright, there you go. Yeah, I forgot h6, not a6, yeah. I got the board sides mixed up. Okay, so black can be, so a6 will go knight c3, then knight e3. That's for sure a tempting move. Yeah. Yeah, that does do a lot. Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's also a potential, yeah, then that's also a weakness. You could always push here too. That frees up the queen, yeah. What does it feel? Let me see. Okay. Here. Not there, sorry. H6. It likes more likely that. Okay, so C3. I see. There's C4. So A6. And then knight E3. It's about either way. It likes this actually better. So it does like that. But then he would have to play there, and at this point you can play C4, pawn C4. Yeah, if you go here. Interesting. So it likes the knight move. What if bishop takes though? Excuse me. Alright, then the queen would have to actually... Oh, I see. This is kind of horrible for black. And the rook would come over. Okay. This would not be fun to play for black because there's just so many weaknesses. And if rook there, you just retreat the queen back. And then potentially next is g3, which the king has to come up by force. Knight takes. Bishop takes, queen takes, rook takes, and then this pawn here. Stop! Don't lag on me. Come on. This pawn falls. Yeah, I was just thinking because you never know. But this, by leaving it open, it frees the knight up for more mobility. So he had the right idea. It's more of a positional move idea from here to here, and then later on you can go c4. Yeah, which blocks all this in. But you do lose potentially the d4 push, so you know you have to. It's a give and take. You know, if you wanted to, rip the center open. Oh, gotcha. I gotcha. Like that. Yeah. And now you actually have queen to a4, which doesn't really do anything because the bishop can actually retreat back here. So that really doesn't do much. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting game for sure. So, yeah. Do you have any other questions about this game here? Any areas you want to go over? Then we can go into our tactics and start our puzzles. I mean, start into our puzzles. Exactly. There really is nothing. When Kramnik tripled his pawns. One more game, okay. Let's see here. Vladimir Kramnik versus Joe Lantor. Alright, let's pull up another board. Got a lot of boards on my, I mean a lot of tabs. So let's move this over here. There we go. So Vlad again is white. So it was the Slav defense. Yeah, the Slav is more of a Grandmaster opening. A lot of people now play the Queen's Gambit declined idea. Like instead of that, you could play here, and then you kind of get a weird line. So, okay. This one is interesting because black sacrificed a piece for an attack, but Kramnik is like a brick wall. Wall that doesn't move. I love it. Yep, it reminds me of the Stonewall Jackson. His troops, when he was fighting, they said that there's Jackson's troops standing like a stone wall. That's where I got Stonewall Jackson from. His tome. Knight e3, or term, sorry. Sorry, 96, not 93. Or 5. For some reason I have e6 on the brain. I think it's because I want black to play this to open the position up. There we go. e6, there it is. Yeah, f3 was played, pawn f3, which prepares e4, e3, e4, b4, and then e4. f3, e4. Exactly. A4 does, it locks this down. A4 is a power move. What it does is it locks this square down here, because then you can actually play bishop here, and if he plays b5 you could take, and then knight takes. It's really, this is a really sharp opening, guys. This is sharp. It's either side has an opportunity for total annihilation on their opponent. Wow, so how many pawns did he get? 1, 2, 3. He got 3 pawns for the piece. Ouch. Kramnik is like, whoa, this is an intense position. There's, wow. Knight takes, knight, queen takes check, and then queen to e2. That's very intense. That's huge. King takes. So he's getting at least, see, he's got 4, so his opponent has 7. So his opponent is still 3 pawns up. Yeah, it'd be silly to trade at this moment. Bishop. Now we can get our rooks into play. I think he was kind of a little afraid of that there. And then and then you'd have to actually play back here. So I don't know. I think it's still okay, but black has two passers, so these are really scary pieces, pawns. So I think Kramnik didn't want to see that happen, so he just decided to do that there. Yeah, if takes. What am I missing? Which move was that on? The bishop is double attacked. That's why. Let me see. Queen G. Queen G4. Which move's Queen G4 on? Oh, I gotcha. I see what you're saying. Back here. So, wait a second. Okay, okay, if Queen G4, we don't have a. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Queen G4 here. Yeah, I gotcha. Queen G4. It's actually G3. You can't do. Let's see. Oh, yeah. If you go here, yeah. No. What am I missing here? Allows Rook E8. Okay. Alright. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying here. Then, okay, Queen G4. Yeah. Okay. That. Yeah. There you go. Queen G4. And then let's see, Rook two, Queen, G takes, Rook E2, Queen G. Oh, Rook. Okay, Rook. Yeah, double attacks there. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. I see what you're saying. Yep, that is true. Very true. Yeah, that would be not fun. I gotcha. I feel you now. I see what you're saying. Check. And now Vlad's going to get his pieces moving. So now we got an attack here, and attack. So we have bishops attacking here, bishop attacking there, knight attacking here, and rook attacking there. So tons of attack. Now the rook's under fire. Rook E8. And now a pawn falls. There's a potential discovery here. Check. Now he's going to try to see if he can't win back another pawn. And now that's an idea with a big headache happening right there. That'd be mate, close to mate. He'd have that, and I think maybe potential. That'd be interesting. What if he plays here? Let me see. What could he actually play? Trying to see if there is any. Oh, that's why. Snap, missed that. That stinks. Okay, gotta turn off the engine. Now there's no check on the bishop, and so the bishop moves. The knight's now in a really awkward position. So now everything's good. King moves. F. It'd be kind of hard if you traded off rooks. You have to keep the pieces on the board right now. So now he's got his king to guard these two, so his pieces are free now. This king guards against these two attackers. check. Knight comes in. Wow. Now there's a discovery. Oops, my bad. That was a mouse slip. There's no real way of stopping taking that, so the king has to come there. Wow, you can't even take the knight. That's power right there. He potentially could play here, but then he comes back, and when he has to come back there, then you snap that off. And if he checks here, you come there. It's there. And this will end up becoming a queen. Do you have any questions on that? Do you have any questions, Fox, on that at all? Okay, then we'll go into our puzzles and start. Let's have a little bit of fun here. We've put a lot of work in. We've done our openings. We did our games. We've done our opening repertoire. We played, analyzed more games, and now it's time to have fun with tactics, our puzzles. So this is our fun time. Let's amp it up. Okay, so hold on. Let me just take a look. Okay, grabbed a pawn. So bishop takes, rook takes, queen over, rook back. That's interesting. Oh, we pick up the rook. That's right. That makes sense. The only problem I think with that is that the rook can actually take here. Or no, the rook takes. The queen could take at that point. I don't think it's mate though, because even after we play here, the rook could take at that point. No, the rook can't. My bad. Hold on 1 second. Here, there, there. King moves. Back. King moves. Let's see if there's any flaws in this. Okay, so oops, it takes here. I don't think we accomplish anything. I don't know if we get enough out of that. We win a whole rook. Is that the whole thing? We do get a pass pawn, don't we? Yeah, I like that too. We're down in exchange. Okay, that makes sense now. Interesting. I'm trying to see if this here. I don't think we accomplish anything with that. We do potentially have bishop takes knight, and then if rook takes, no, that doesn't work. So the windmill idea, or wheelbarrow. I do like that idea. This actually has a lot of threats. It has the threat here, then when the king goes there, we can actually come back with a check and protects the bishop here. Yeah. I think you're right on that one. Yeah, if he takes here, it's all over. It's mate 4. You could actually just speed the mating process up. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. That's sweet when you can crush your opponent like that. I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't say crush, but you know what? That is just so crushing. That's like, wow. I think it has something to do with takes there. Then when the bishop takes the queen, we can actually play rook takes check, because the knight guard's there. The king has to, the bishop has to intercept, and then by doing that, we come back and we come back and grab it. So I'm thinking here, and if he plays here, we take, bishop moves, then knight comes back and grabs it, and we'd be up a whole rook. What do you think? I think it's that. I'll be right back. You guys take a decision on that. Oh, you think it's the other one? Huh. That is interesting. Yeah, I'll be right back. You guys calculate that out. So, which one of these is the move? So f6. Bishop takes f6. Hey, how you doing? Oops. Rook takes check. King up here. Bishop. Not bishop, sorry. I think we're equal at that point. Hmm. F4. We can't play F4. Oh, C4. I gotcha. And why not just take the queen? Yeah. So here, 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 there, there, and then boom. Queen takes d3, red takes d3, and then bishop takes c5. We're down a rook and knight, so we can't do that. Oh. Ah. Ah. Yeah, that was my fault there. Why doesn't oh, he intercepts. That makes sense. Hey, you know what? We're learning. That's the whole thing, you know. You can't get all upset because it's all about learning process, you know that? Okay. Drat, I missed that combo. That looked a little too easy. Yeah. That was my fault there. So takes there, check. So we had to check correct. King moves back, and then we take. Okay, you know what? Give that a thumbs up. I like that. That was a good one. We'll get it back. You know what? Don't worry. Yeah, you guys did. You had the right idea. I missed it. That was my fault. That was. I really thought that was going to work. I thought for sure that a check, but I missed that the knight. It's the simplest defense that you have to be careful of. I have to remember to look for the simplest of defense. I thought he would play inferior, but you have to remember that the computer plays superior. So always think of superior moves when you play a move. Don't think of your opponent making an inferior move. I have to keep that in my repertoire. Well, let's take a look. You know, it never hurts to go back and take a look. Let's see here. Okay, if we take here, he'll take there. And then we have to move here. We got to move up. Then we're down in exchange. So there's only really one line that works, and it's after takes here. The check is the only line that works. Anything else is inferior to that move. So we have to do superior. I don't like losing either. I feel you, but you know what? I was reading Josh Waiskin's his book. It's for he wrote a book, and I forgot the name of it. It's like Attacking Chess or something. He says one thing that you have to not let get in your mind is that like anger at the opponent because it clouds the most effective play. But Gary says you can use that though. You can use that upsetness, but you have to remember to funnel it towards play, not towards your opponent, but towards the board. You have to say to yourself, "I'm tired of losing. That I know I can win," and then you just zone down on the board. You don't you don't want to have uncontrollable upsetness. That's what Gary said. And think about it. He became the world champion for like 10 years. So you have to remember that it's you want to make your mistakes now, so that when you're at the board, you don't make those mistakes. Like when you look at a move on the board, say, "What can my opponent do?" And then don't think the wimpiest move for your opponent. Always think the best, and make sure that. Okay, we'll get our points back. Don't worry. And remember, it's not about points; it's about learning. Okay, here we go. Because we all make mistakes. Yeah. Let's see. Here. H. Hmm. It's all based on if we can get rid of this knight, removing the defender here is everything. Because our queen's attacking here. All we gotta do is get rid of this guy here. Let's see, how could we do that? Well, that's simple. You just play there. And then if he takes here, then you take there. Yeah. If that is played, and let's say the king comes up here, you can actually play knight comes. Actually, let's see. Then you can take there. Let's see here. If it comes up, then you can actually take here, and you win a knight, and then he has to go back. And then at that point, you can play rook takes knight at that point. And then if queen comes and takes, then you can take back. Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be that. Oh. That's interesting for sure. So if here, let's read. Come on, work with me. So if here, so that's okay. So that's the reason. Okay, they're at. That's not fun. Okay, let's do this. We'll get this better. Okay, let's focus down. We have to slow down, and we gotta work this out. Not, I gotta remember to do that. Slow down, work it out. Okay. So this move, F4. What could we play against that? Trying to see what weakness he has provoked. Okay, is there anything that he has attacked here? Let me see. Okay, if we play there, he potentially could play here. Okay. So we gotta keep an eye out, and he could actually double take there too. So that's actually a bad move now that I think about it. The queen could actually, at this point, if we play there, the queen could take. So we can't do that. Bad move on my part. So we have to refocus. Hmm. Trying to see, because with this move here, he opened up this whole file here, this whole, rank. This whole rank was opened up to the king, so. Trying to see if there's anything we can do. What am I missing here? Bishop e4. Knight takes e4, so bishop e4. Knight takes e4. Knight takes e4. Huh. Okay. Knight e4. That is stronger because remember this now is loose. This whole rank is open. So if we play knight takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop takes, rook takes, and then rook takes. That's an interesting move too. So here, sorry, here e4, 94, rook e2, knight takes, d2, rook takes d2, bishop e4 check, king moves, and then we snap off a bishop. We did bishop first, knight takes, then the rook comes up, and I think he guards everything. Yeah, there's nothing more we can do. I think it has to be knight. Yeah. I think you guys were right with the knight move. Not we're just doing puzzles for tonight. So maybe I'll do a game later, but not at this moment. I appreciate the offer though. Oh, you want to check that out? Okay. Well, that's not as good as, so this is best in that line. Why is rook takes best? Huh, that's really weird. That's odd. Sometimes the computer's lines are really odd. But I mean, it works. It's 100% accurate. It's just like really different for sure. I would have went for the trade and just traded down because you know what? it's better just to get the liquidation out off the board. Okay. Okay, so what you're saying is back here. Okay, here. Wow, double attack. That's crazy. That's just crazy cool. That's just crazy cool. Okay, let's take a look. Hey, you know what? I'm willing to look over the lines. These are funny. Oops, my bad there. I always keep that mixed up. Okay. So here, let's just take a look. You know, I mean, it's not, it doesn't hurt looking. So then we take here, rook e3, queen a2. So rook takes h, rook takes h3, rook takes. So you can't do that. After there, then you play the bishop check, and then you have to. Then I think you take. Okay, I see. Yeah, you're fine. You know what? That was an interesting. There were so many different lines there. And we did good. You know what? It's all about learning. That's the whole thing. Because our points will come. It's all about the learning process. Trying to see if it's bishop d5 check. Then if king h8, what are we doing? King h8. I'll have you guys check it out. I think it's bishop d5 check, then king h8, and then maybe it has to do with like a knight check. We'll take a look. Okay, so here, so G takes H5, H takes G5. Hmm. Taking rook, knight G5, and let's see, what do we get? I think that's the only way we can recoup anything. Well, I had to solve this one, then we'll log up. I want to make sure we do this one right. What do you guys think? Is it knight G6? Knight from G5? Okay. Alrighty. Do you guys have any questions about this? Any lines you want to go over before I log off? Oh, you want to check this line out. Okay. what would happen if takes here. Come on. Any more lines you guys want to go over? Yeah, you could. And then you just take there. Yeah. If you played there, he moves there. Yeah. Any more lines you guys want to go over? Are you guys all good? All right, perfect. Okay, remember, guys. It's not what I like what we talked about. It's not what happens when you make the mistake. It's what you do when the mistake is made. Do you learn from it, or do you let it keep you down? You know what? A rating's a rating. You'll eventually get up there with more knowledge, more understanding, and the more you just work with it. And you can't let your emotions run you in the chessboard. That's what Josh Waitzkin says in his book. That it's based on thought. And Gary did say that Josh said in his book as well that you can use that as focus. Use it as focus. And you know that kind of fear and butterflies that you get? Use that to study so that when you go to the tournament, you will be prepared. Don't be afraid to, do stuff on the in chess. Don't let it scare you. Remember that. And you know what? As always, there's a plan in the position. We just got to be patient, and we'll find it. And when we do, we get to say, I love it when a plan comes together. And I got to also say, remember, Hannibal Smith said, A plan is only good when you can see 3 moves into the future of what your opponent's going to do. That's a plan. And so remember that. And as always, guys, remember, as Wesley So says, through the Lord Jesus, as I say, God bless, and I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, and evening, and keep studying chess. Remember that. And I'll be back on tomorrow, Lord willing. Keep doing good, guys. Great job. Bye-bye.